Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy
Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So good to see y'all.
I'm glad to be back.
I was just going to say, Mel, welcome back. How are things in Florida?
We good.
Yeah,
We good down here. Some
yeah,
places Florida is jacked up, but we all right down here.
yeah. I saw some pictures. It didn't look good. It
No.
didn't look good.
And some
I
it's
think the
too
troubling
warm.
part was they were asking people, why don't folks evacuate? And I'm like, the same reason people vote for Trump. Like, folks, like they're so tied to something that's important to them that even if it doesn't make sense to hold on, they will. I mean, I'm not mad at people because I know how that feels, but I'm glad you're okay, and some of our other diamonds who are in Florida are okay. So listen, I am not crying. I'm not emotional. I am fighting allergies, like literally fist fighting allergies. Allergies came in this week and like deboed me. Right? That's just my chain. It's my bite. Like that's what these allergies are like. Those are my eyes, my nose. So anyway, and then Mel has a cough. So if you guys see us mute, if we go off camera for a moment, it's really just to pull ourselves together. So we're gonna do our best to not make each other laugh because Mel goes into a coughing fit and then I just start with the tears. So we're gonna try to keep it together. But while we're trying to keep it together, you go get it together and go share this live. Like, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. Go share the live, please. Get on that. So real quick, as of course I'm in pink, right? Not just because it's one of my favorite colors, but we are standing and unifying with those in the fight against breast cancer, the research, the survivors, the warriors, those who have lost loved ones. We are standing with them for the month of October, and we are showing up in our pink on Wednesdays. Yes, Wednesdays we wear diamonds, and in October we wear pink. But Tip is also rocking a color for the month of October.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Yes, and October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and our color is purple. And so, for all of the gems and gents out there, honoring you and holding space for you by rocking my royal purple today, to show solidarity with you. And Tima can speak for her and Mel. If I happen to go off camera or go off a mute, is because my Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi as usual. But I got a backup device in the waiting room just in case. So y'all know how it is.
We not listen. They know. We listen. We be showing up, okay? And Mel has on her pink on her wrap. Hey.
I feel like I forgot about the purple. I was like, because I could have definitely I could have definitely pulled out some purple. We would have had zero problems there. Pink, it's a struggle, but I found something. I gotta be here.
And it looked good. So yeah, Mel struggles with pink. That's not her favorite color. She doesn't like pink, but purple, she all over it. She has everything purple. So yes, we would have had no issues with purple. All right, awesome. So hopefully y'all took a moment to go share this live. I need you to also tag someone in the comments and invite them to the show because guess what's back, y'all? Guess what's back? A fan favorite, a gym favorite. Those Dear Diamond letters are back. I think the letters are going to be great tonight. They're going to provoke some real thought and some serious dialogue. One of the letters, I was like, I had to clutch the pearls because I thought somebody was low key trying to come for me and
Yeah,
write the letter. And like, no, seriously, they going to see. Like, is this about me?
there were
But
definitely some shots fired in the mailbag
Just for real.
over the last month or so. And it's okay because we wholeheartedly believe that if you need to hear it, we need to hear it too. So, no advice is good. Like, no advice is like your own advice, right? So,
yeah.
practice what you preach. So,
We
we about
definitely
to see if
ourselves.
the Queen Pen, the MV Pen, and Phoenix can take their own advice.
And here's the thing, I'm good with the mirror facing moment. If that's what this is, I'm okay with it because I know there's been some growth for me in that area. And I know y'all are wondering, what are they talking about? Y'all gonna see in a minute. Y'all gonna hear in a minute. But for right now, let's do our one of our newest segments, straight to the comments. Let's go ahead and dive right into that. We going straight to the comments. So was it last week, Tiff? maybe last week. Yeah,
It
last week
might have been, it might have been late last week, over the weekend. Yeah, you tagged me
maybe
in
over
something
the
on
weekend.
Facebook. You tagged me on something on
Exactly.
Facebook.
Yeah, because y'all know I rarely scroll. Like I jump on posts, get off. But this particular day, I was bored. How I know it was last week because I was in a nail salon. So I'm scrolling. I come across a post, and it's a female who wrote the post, and she said, and I wish we had it. I couldn't find it anymore. But she said, if you depend on child support to pay your bills, you shouldn't have custody of the kids. And so I was like, ooh, she coming for a lot of people, right? Because there are a lot of women who do depend on their child support to meet bills, to meet needs, things like that. But I think what shocked us the most, and I had to tag Tiffany to please let the gyms and gents know what, like, literally had us like no in the comments.
It was the women who were co-signing the post. It was the women who were co-signing the post. It wasn't like there were a bunch of men and they're like, preach, protect her, she the goat. That's wifey right there. No, it was other women who were co-signing the post. And it actually kind of ties into the one that we had last week where the guy was like, oh, don't have more kids than you can take care of on your own. What is it with people in thinking that just because you had a child with someone, you're supposed to do it on your own? I don't get that at all, right? Um, and what I'm gonna say is, as someone who went through pseudo single motherhood for over 20 years,
Mhm.
for me, it really wasn't about the finances. It was actually about the presence that he had in their life. Like, dude, keep your presence, keep your
Right,
presence, keep your gifts, keep all of those things there, because when you're gone, all your kids are going to have are the memories, right?
right.
And then we're now 4 years past their dad transitioning, and they literally only have their memories with him and none of the materialistic things, right? So that's all I had to say about it. But the women were in there and were like, that's right. You shouldn't be out there having kids and thinking that your baby daddy is your meal ticket. Having a kid is not a come up. It was just very trifling. It was very
Yeah.
trifling in the comments for me. And I was like, oh, and as they say, and oop.
I think I was more so shocked. So Mel, did you get a chance to see it? If not, what, like, do you agree that the women were co-signing with her?
I mean, they definitely co-signed. Y'all know me. Like I won't be trying to be controversial, but I mean, am I wrong that I low key kind of agree with that comment though?
Ooh, come on through.
Like,
Right.
Explain.
okay, and this is in no way, shape, or form me saying that whatever parent leaves does not
Mhm.
hold the responsibility of taking care of the child with co-parenting, making sure that financially they do what they got to do. So I'm
Mhm.
not giving the other parent an out,
Right.
but you do have women out here
Mhm.
that, as you see a lot of times, you'll see a lot of them, mostly like celebrity stuff, you'll see the child support stuff, and they be like, I need $150,000 a month.
Right.
For what?
Do
Because
right.
that's not because that's what you need to take care of your child. That's because that's what you need to continue to create the lifestyle you want to live off of the back of this other person, rather than actually getting what you need to take care and support your child. And if you want to go above and beyond that because you want this extra lavish lifestyle, that is not their responsibility. That's not what child support is for. Like,
Mhm,
it's not so you can go and buy your 3-year-old daughter a Birkin bag.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's where, in that instance, I'm like, I can understand the poster where, like, child support is not supposed to be so you can pay your bills and live your lifestyle. It is supposed to be that other person's contribution to help take care of that child. So if, let's say, the rent for your place is $2,000, If you can't afford the 1,000 to match the 1,000, then you need to live somewhere else. It's not now this person's responsibility to now pay you more money to support the lifestyle that you're choosing to live above your own means. And so that's where like my agreement is like not because your baby daddy or baby mama, depending on what it is, makes six figures, does that mean that you get to just be like, well, I'm not gonna go to work and I'm not gonna do anything, but I want, $800 weaves, and I want, a Mercedes, and I want my kid to be in this and this and this, and then
Yeah.
his contribution is now 90% of your lifestyle, and you're
Mm,
only contributing 10%.
right.
Especially if that person is a present parent. So
Mm,
they're visiting their child, they have, their kid on weekends or whatever the schedule is, especially if they're an active parent, then where's the 50-50 in that? Because that child is equally your responsibility as it is his or
right.
hers,
Yeah.
however it works out. So that
Right.
was where I kind of was like, I kind of agree with the statement where child support is not supposed to be to obtain your lifestyle. Child support is supposed to support the child,
Aid the child. Right. Right.
which you're supposed to contribute to. So the child
Right.
tuition is $800, then that's 4 and 4. Whatever, however
Right.
y'all split up, but it shouldn't be like, well, I need more money because I can't afford my rent. Well, why can't you afford your rent?
But
Right.
you know what else, Mel? Okay. So even stepping away from the whole like celebrity influencer type thing, one of the things that child support is supposed to do is make sure that, especially in a case where the couple was together and then they separated and now one person has the primary custody or the physical custody of the kid, is to
Mm.
make sure that the child's lifestyle doesn't change,
It's
right?
just it's not disrupted.
Understood.
Right.
So if when we were together, right, with our two combined incomes and our kid attended, this private school and tuition was this, and then they were enrolled in these activities and stuff like that. Now that we're divorced and we have our separate households, that child is not supposed to get unenrolled from the private school or not have those things. And unfortunately, what happens a lot of times is that one, men use men use the influence of the children to of not and not being in the partner's life as a tool, right? So where
Right.
men will say women weaponize children by saying, oh, you can't see your kid, this, that, next, and another. Men will do the same thing, like if you leave me, then I'm not going to be in the child's life. Hold up, wait a minute, pause, flag on the play. Like, are you here for me or are you here for your kid, right?
Right.
Because regardless of what happens between me and you, you're still supposed to be in the child's life. And
Right.
then that trickles down into controlling of finances and reducing child, going to court to reduce child support or be removed for it. So all of it is very, very it's a very tricky subject, and it's
Mhm.
also a very slippery slope because there are people who really do want, like, I just want you to maintain I just want you to maintain our child's lifestyle, don't worry about mine, right?
Right.
But then there are people who take advantage of that, and it's like baby meal ticket, so I would never want to be a judge or even like I think they call them law guardians, like somebody who shows up for court to represent the child in
Mm.
family court, because I'm just too much of an empath. I'd be in there crying and wanting to bash heads because at the end of the day, these children are innocent, right?
Right.
And that's what it's all supposed to boil down to. Child
Right.
support custody is what is most beneficial for the child.
I mean, I agree. I have so many views and opinions on child support. I will keep it as abbreviated as possible. But one, I think it's a cultural issue. Majority of women, well, let me not say majority, but a lot of women don't even give the ex an opportunity to provide. They just throw them on child support because they want that guaranteed number that the court will assign. A lot of women don't even look to the ex to say, let's work together, let's come up with a number. that has maintained our child's life up until this point, something like that. When I got divorced, my daughter was only 3 years old, but she was in dance, she was in gymnastics, she was in a lot of things, and she was in before and after care and in daycare, right? I didn't put my ex-husband on child support because I didn't think it was necessary. I don't believe in putting black men in the system. That's just my personal opinion. But also, I knew the type of father he was. I knew the marriage was over, but his relationship with his daughter was not. And so we just opened a joint account. We both deposited the same amount of money in there bi-weekly to cover all of my daughter's expenses, or our daughter's expenses, because I could maintain my own lifestyle. I didn't need his money to help me maintain overhead for her. Fast forward, I relocate here to Georgia. My daughter decides to stay with her father. He puts me on child support, right? And initially I was offended, like, dang, dude, like, why we couldn't just take the same approach or whatever? She's older now. But when she comes to visit on summer breaks and spring breaks, all of my bills go up because my kid leaves all the lights on. She eating twice as much. And I'm like, okay, bro, I see why you put me on child support, because good God, like, this teenager is expensive, right? I, 50 million hoodies all year long. So anyway, my point is, like, I get why he needed that consistency. Could he have done it outside of the courts? Of course, but that's on him. He got to deal with that. It's between him and God. The last thing I'll say about, the whole comments and most of the women defending what that young lady posted, I can understand why they feel that way, but we also have to understand we're not living in the same times that our parents were. You getting 6, 7 groceries out of the store for about $900, whereas my mother was getting, you get them. So when you look at the times we live in, I can understand why some women are like, no, I need more help, right? If I'm gonna have the children most of the time, they're gonna be living here. Nah, I'm gonna need more money from you, because it is expensive to raise children nowadays. And I'm just shocked that more women agreed versus defending women who do need that type of support. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really what the beef is. Like, to me, it perpetuates the gender war. So I really don't care to get into that debate. But it was shocking because I'm so used to women unifying on a post, like, nah, we need this money. Like, they was like, no, you're right. She need to stop. And I was just shocked. Like, honestly, I think it was more so a shock factor for me. Like, really, ladies? Like, we're not going to
Yeah.
defend women who need child support to make it? But
I
that
mean,
that that was the
Listen,
shocking part for me.
I think that the reason why we probably got more of those is because you don't, unless you're a woman who went through a child support situation and it
Yeah.
was a legitimate cause, for child support. What you see when it comes to child support cases are the cases that I mentioned. You see the women that are like, oh, you're getting $30,000 a month, and they're like, oh, I need more.
Right.
Where you have women who are barely getting $400 a month and making them do what they got to
And
do.
figuring
So
it
those
out.
are the cases you see. So in
Right.
a lot of people's minds, when they're talking about like the subject from the post, you do only see the women who are being greedy when it comes to child support,
mm-hmm.
not for because we need more groceries, or not because my
Mhm.
child wants to play basketball or cheerleading, or
Right.
not because, well, we've been in a 1 bedroom and now she's 14 and she needs her own rooms, we need to upscale to. It's not for those. It's women. Because you see what you're seeing, and what you're seeing in the post, whether it's just women talking smack and they're commenting about child support, or their deadbeat baby daddies and he don't pay child support. What they're talking about, and the money that they want, is
Mm.
because they want to go and get the I grew it from
They want
hospital.
30-inch bust down.
Yeah, they want to get the 30-inch bust downs.
Exactly.
They want the newest bag. They want this. They don't want to
Exactly.
drive the Honda. I need a Benz truck, and I need this. And so
Mhm.
those are the things. And so I'm gonna come for the women that were going at it. I feel like they're probably talking more to those women
To those
who are
women, yeah.
using child support as a means of upscaling their life,
Right.
as opposed to women who are using child support in the right manner. And
Right.
unfortunately, I feel like a lot of, and I can't even say more, but the more cases you hear with child support are usually not women that are trying to use child support in the right way. They're
Right.
using it as a means to either get back at
They're
the
abusing
man,
it. Right.
or what I'm saying, to harm him, or using it as a, well, if you don't do this, you can't see. Like, it's always used as a weapon as
Right.
opposed to
Mm-hmm.
what it's really for.
Right. I totally agree. I
Well,
completely agree. Go ahead.
y'all do know one of Kamala Harris's initiatives does involve men and their child support. Like there's I forget which plan it is or which initiative it is, but
Mm,
it's about like helping it's helping to close that gap that is between the haves and the have nots. And
right.
so
And in father,
there's
and there's a piece in there that's in favor of fathers, which is
right.
the one thing I can get behind about that. But yes, I do like that she wants to be more fair to fathers. But go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So I think it's in line with I think that category of fathers that you and Mel were referring to, the ones who are active in their children's lives, but then they're still on child support. And, well, the kid is at my house too, but that's not taken into consideration. And then there were some other things pertaining to like if you can demonstrate and prove like X amount of years of consistent and on time rental payments, assistance with down payments towards houses and stuff like that. So there are certain initiatives that are coming out in politics. I'm gonna wait until November 6th to see how things play
To
out.
see.
But that's enough for me here.
We're 3 weeks away, by the way. We are 3 weeks away. Okay, so if y'all didn't
Y'all
do
better
early
vote.
voting, right? If y'all didn't do early voting, make sure that y'all get out there and vote. All right. So look, if you agree with the post, if you agree that women who need child support to provide for themselves and their children should not have custody, go ahead and drop that money icon or that money emoji in the comments, or just drop your comment. We'd be interested to hear it. But before we jump into these letters, we're going to give y'all one more opportunity to go share this live. Y'all love these letters. Y'all love the advice of the letters. Make sure that you get that audience in here so that we can share. I think these are going to be some good letters tonight. I think y'all will enjoy them.
All right.
All right, so who's first?
Before we go, somebody asked us to repost to repeat the question. So the question is,
Okay.
if a if a woman requires child support from their child father in order to maintain her lifestyle, should she not have custody of the children? So that's the question. Thanks, Dre Lloyd. All right.
That's
So
my
who?
sister.
Okay. Hey,
Hey,
which
sister.
which letter is up first? It's time to get into these letters because they deep. We gonna be talking.
They
We
eat.
gonna
We
be talking.
ready?
I'm talking to
I'm missing
the
my
man
favorite
in
letter,
the mirror.
though. Is y'all ready for Dear Diamond?
Whose letter is first?
I don't know. Who wanna go first?
Just
I
throw
can
it up
go
there.
first because this letter is good. I can
Huh?
go first. I'll
Tima
go
said she
first.
want. Tima said she want to go first. Ooh,
Okay.
Let's get this one out the way because, like I said, I feel
I
like
think this.
someone was trying to come for me on the low. But anyway,
All right, y'all ready?
yeah,
So,
let me wait. Let me pull it up because it's a long one. Hold on. Let me put this
mhm.
thing. All right, I'm ready.
Ready? All right,
Yes.
y'all. We ready.
All right. It says, "Dear Diamonds, help. I thought I was supposed to be in my soft life season, but my masculine energy is out of control. I am still processing the ending of a 2 year relationship in which I was the primary breadwinner and decision maker. It was draining, and I knew eventually I would grow to hate my ex, so we broke up. Because I didn't want to get into anything serious too soon, I intentionally decided to date casually this summer. I have met some decent guys with the potential to move into something a little more serious. However, because for so long I had to make all the decisions and carry the financial weight of my last relationship, I don't know how to sit back and let the guy lead. I find myself planning the dates and taking over everything. I realized I had a problem when I was on a date recently. When the check came, I immediately went into my bag and placed my credit card down to pay the bill. The look on my date's face read total humiliation and emasculation. I tried to save the remainder of the evening, but it was too late. When he dropped me that night, he told me there wasn't room in the relationship for two men and I needed to figure out what I wanted. He kissed me on my cheek and walked away. I thanked him for his honesty because it got me to thinking of all the other ways I allowed my masculine energy to show up in my soft girl season. How do I fix this? Sincerely, still trying. Okay. So the reason I thought somebody was coming for me because this was my issue. This was definitely my issue. I struggled with flowing comfortably between my masculine and feminine energy. So I want to say a couple of general comments and then I'm going to respond directly to you, still trying. First of all, sis, I've been there. Okay. I have been there, but there is hope, and I'm going to give some tips, and so will my co hosts, Phoenix and Mel V. They're also going to share because we've all been here. Okay. This is a season we are all very familiar with. First thing I want to say, there are so many um, influencers that are telling or defending women who are masculine, saying things like, oh, well, she just needs the right guy to draw out her feminine energy. That's a lie. And that's really stupid. If your feminine energy is present, you don't need someone to dictate. That's almost like you being a thermometer instead of a thermostat. You don't need someone to tell you how to show up. It's how you already show up. And that is the lesson that I had to learn. I used to think the very same thing. Well, if I'm around a masculine being or a masculine person, it'll automatically push me into my feminine space. And that's just not true, right? It's just, there's never a room full of men playing basketball and one of them decides to be feminine because the rest of them is taking up masculine space. No, it's who they are. Okay. So you're literally going to show up. My bad. You're literally,
Grandmama.
I'm just saying, like, you're going to show up in the energy that you are comfortable flowing in. Now, what I will say to you, still trying, I would encourage you to examine if you're still struggling with perfectionism, if you're struggling with survival mode. Those were two areas for me that kept me locked into that masculine space. I also had been in relationships, my last two relationships, um, where I was the breadwinner. I made the money, I paid all the bills, I made all the decisions. And so it was so hard to flow in between the two energies because I was always showing up. I also work in a very competitive industry. I work in technology, I work in technology sales. That is a masculine space because of the competitiveness. That's a masculine trait, competition. And so it was, and I'm a leader, right? And so you put leadership, competition, breadwinner, decision maker. There was always something calling on my masculine energy. So it was rare that I got to move into that feminine space. Um, However, when I started my personal healing journey, that was on the top of my list that I wanted to learn how to flow comfortably and safely between the two. It's not saying that women can never show up masculine. We have to. I'm a single mother. So when me and my daughter are out in public, I have to be protector because I don't have my husband there to do that. So that is my role as protector when I'm with my daughters. However, when my chocolate drop is here, honey, I know how to flow right back into submissive feminine energy. So it's really not necessarily abandoning your masculine energy, it's learning how to show up more frequently in that feminine space. Um, Last thing I'll say before I hand it off, when I got into the relationship that I'm in now, it was a huge struggle. I kept touching doors. I was, letting myself out the car, opening the door myself, reaching for my check to pay the bill. And I remember he would just gently remove my hand off of things. He would look at me, this look like, don't even think you about to pay for this. He would just do very subtle things. And my prayer was always, show me when I can show up in that feminine space. I want to be comfortable in it. And so I had to do things to practice just being feminine, asking for more help. When you're masculine, you think you can do it all, so you don't ask for help.
Mhm.
That is a feminine trait to let someone help you. So I had to learn how to, and not even just my boyfriend, I had to let friends help. I had to let my leaders in the diamond writer community do more instead of me trying to do it all. So there are subtle ways that you can start taking some of that masculine demand off of yourself. You don't always have to do everything you're used to doing. So that independent woman really is code for masculine energy. And I know we want
Mhm.
to say, oh, my women who end up, no, stop. This is why half of us ain't married because we've been masculine this whole time. It is time to abandon some of that, not all of it, but some of it. All right, y'all go ahead because I got to sneeze.
Are we going to the comments? Okay, so we got Bernadette. Hey, Bernie. She's dropping some purple hearts for me and the domestic violence awareness. Who else we got over here?
I don't know who clicked on the comments.
I don't know. It could have been me. I don't know. I'm trying not to touch nothing, but I'm
Oh, well,
trying not
Billy.
to. You know how sensitive my computer is. Do you want to hop in first, Mel? Because
Sure. Um,
go play devil's advocate.
sure. No, I ain't gonna put devil's advocate because this letter had me like, so why you gotta talk about me like that?
Exactly.
And I mean, I can. It's as definitely as Tima said. As a woman who I run my own business. So you're forced to sit in, like you said, that masculine space. You know what I'm saying? And again, with the industry that I work in, it's a very male dominated industry. So I kind of have to be a bit more assertive and a bit more, masculine to be taken seriously and not just kind of brushed off sometimes. But then also in relationships, in my marriage, I was, listen, if we wanted to get technical, I was like, I might as well have been gay because I was like, I was like, you just not gonna do nothing, like nothing. Um, all right, I'm sorry, I digress. I be trying to forget that part of my life. But anyway, but very much so, like when you are accustomed to having to be that person, making all the decisions, primary breadwinner, primary parent, all of that, it becomes in your mind normal.
Mhm.
And then you become to believe that that's the order of things. So when you shift now, or once you realize this is really not where I want to be and how I want to sit in a relationship, you now have to break that pattern. The
Hmm.
first thing is you have to at some way, somehow within yourself, come to terms with the fact that A, it's not normal, and B, that you deserve to be able to sit in your feminine space. Because depending on how long you sat in it, you don't even believe that you deserve to be able to sit in that space anymore. You feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. So you first have to believe that, you know what, I deserve to be cherished and taken care of and nurtured and loved a certain type of way. Once you start to believe that, one, you'll kind of let your guard down and you'll kind of soften yourself because you'll start to realize I do deserve to be this type of person, which will then attract the men who will show up to you and then also make you feel safe, because it's also a safety thing.
Hmm.
You've never been in a space safe enough to let your guard down, to trust that if you didn't do it, things were going to be taken care of. So now you don't feel secure to say, if I take my hand off of this, it's not going to crumble. Um, so it also takes the right person to be able to make you feel secure enough to sit in that space. Um, I would also kind of implore you, girl, don't take your wallet out again. First of all, I don't care about masculine family. It's a first date. I don't care who we with. Girl, why you paying? What's wrong with you? And listen, that might have been the problem. And this is not for me to come for you, but that might have been the problem in your past relationship. You showed up so masculine and didn't give him an opportunity to show up. So he just, unlike some very alpha males who will check you and be like, I'm not doing this. If you have a man who is not so alpha, he'll just be like, all right, you want to do it, go ahead, and let you do it. So it may not have been that he couldn't do it or would not have done it. You didn't give him the opportunity to do it. That
Hmm.
could have, I don't know. Um, but I'll just say, start before you can allow somebody else to give you the soft life. Start treating yourself in that soft space. Like, give yourself a minute to be like, I don't got to do this today. I'm gonna just
Hmm.
relax. I'm gonna take a day where I'm not doing nothing. You know what? Them kids want to eat. Listen, it's hot pockets and sandwich meat in the fridge. Figure it out. Like, you have to put yourself in that soft space and start becoming accustomed to not doing, so that when
Mm-hmm.
you do enter into a situation with a man, that's not your first instinct. Like, you have to break the habit before somebody else. They can't break the habit for you. You have to start breaking the habit so that when you show up a bit more feminine. You
Mm-hmm.
give a man an opportunity to show you if he is or if he isn't, if he will or if he won't. And not just in your partnerships, in your friendships, even with your kids. If you have kids, you know what I'm saying? Give them the opportunity to show up and do the things that they're supposed to do, which will then give you the opportunity to take a step back and allow things to happen, and then see that, you know what? The world is not going to fall apart if I stay in bed till 10 o'clock. Like, it's not going to, it's not. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Wow. Okay.
That's so
So,
good, Melvie.
And
yep.
I didn't cough one time.
Um, I really don't have much to say for two reasons. First and foremost, my masculine and feminine energy, my yin and my yang be yang and yinning. So I don't even know. I haven't gotten to a point, at least I don't think so, where on a first date I pulled the credit card out to pay for a bill. But I will say that I have been with my husband 11 years and we still bicker back and forth if he catch me walking on the outside of the street. And I'm like, yo, dude, we live in a society they can snatch me down the alley because you have me on the inside. Like,
True story. True story.
but I digress. I really don't have much to say. One, because you both hit on some amazing key points there. I think the one that hits me the most that I'm gonna co-sign on is embracing and healing self. Like there is something beyond having to be the primary that has you doing these things. And I think it has to do with you protecting a younger version of yourself where you didn't feel like that part of you wasn't cared for. So there's something about that that has you show up this way, right?
Mhm.
So I would start looking there. Um, but I say that because I had a conversation with my therapist today about why it is I do the things that I do and how it is that I operate. And I'm gonna say 7.75% of the time when I show up in a certain way that doesn't it looks a little funky to people, it's
Mhm.
because I'm operating out of protecting or covering little Tiffany, right? This little child still show up in adult spaces and needs to be covered. And so I would look at that there is something about your past that is unhealed and uncovered, and that's what I think you're overcompensating for.
Yeah, definitely co-signing. Definitely co-signing on that. That's so good. All right, look, y'all, we got just enough time for the other two letters. So who's going
Mm,
next? Oh, so before we close that out, I just want to say to still trying, keep trying, right? Keep trying. Keep trying your best to show up in that feminine space. Don't force it. Let it flow. Like when things flow, it'll happen organically and naturally, and you'll find yourself being much more feminine without having to think about it. Like right now, you may have to think about it. You may have to say, like Mel said, I'm not going to do nothing today that will put me in a masculine energy. I'm only going to do things that will make me tender and soft today. And that's going to be intentionality. But then after a while, it's going to become more natural because you'll know what situations call for that masculine energy and what situations you can literally just show up soft. Because here's the thing, softness or soft life doesn't mean weak. And I think when we learn to stop looking at it as weakness, we can still show up soft and firm in certain situations of our lives. Because that is also a misconception that in order to be soft, you have to be weak. Um, and we're passive, and you don't. You can still be strong and you can still be firm, but you can still also be soft in that. So that's the last thing to say. We hope that this advice helped you. Sorry that we thought you were coming for us. We apologize for that. That's why your letter kind of sat in the inbox, because we thought you was trying to come for us ladies, but we appreciate your letter.
Calling us out. All right. I guess we'll go to the next one. That's
Yeah.
me. Alrighty. Dear Diamonds, I'm a woman in my 40s and have pretty much established my set of friends. I'm a wife, mother, and an entrepreneur, so needless to say, I don't always have a lot of free time, but I do my best to make time to spend with my girls. Over the past year, I've been intentionally focused on growing my business and have been less available. I've started to notice that my girlfriends have been excluding me from meetup invitations or will tell me at the last minute, and I'm starting to take it personal. I believe that over the years I have been a good friend, supportive, encouraging, and will go above and beyond when I can. But I feel like now that I am not available on their time schedule, I'm being left out. All of my friends are aware of my goals and know that I'm trying to build my business. Knowing that I'm not always available, I've extended invitations to things that I'm hosting so that they can feel included in my life as well, but they often do not attend. I don't know how to address this new exclusion with them or if it's even worth it. I don't want to have to find a new group of friends because it's not easy to find people of value and build that kind of friendship, but I'm starting to feel abandoned. Please help me. Sincerely, an island of one.
Mm.
Aw.
Ooh.
First of all, before you respond, I think we're finding our demographic here. Our demographic are early middle-aged women who are established in their lives, who are now realizing that now that they're focused on themselves or their goals or whatever, they have troubled some waters. So if this is your demographic, if I just described you, keep sending them letters because, we got future shows we got to plan. But in the meanwhile, Mel, what you got to say?
Um, I don't know why I feel like all the letters this week were about me. I don't know why.
You so
Um,
vain, you think this letter is about you.
I just want to feel like I was like not really about me, but like y'all just gonna read my life on every letter today.
Right.
Because I can totally relate. Um, especially as a woman, I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I don't have that issue. But as not to say issue, but I don't. That's not an issue for availability for me. But as a business owner and someone who really was coming into a new arena and really trying to establish myself, I was less available
Mm.
to friends and to family, and I did notice that I stopped hearing from people or stopped getting
Mm.
invited to things that, oh, every time we invite you you're not available. But and likewise, when I invited them to come to things that I had, they didn't show up.
Mm.
So um to address your concern or question, um an island of one, I will say, is it worth you addressing? I can't speak on the level of your friendships with these women. I feel like you can say something, or ask, but honestly, I believe that they've been showing you who they were and where you stood in their lives for quite some time. Especially if you're saying that you've been inviting them to things for you and they don't come to support. And that you used to show up and do the things, but now that you're trying to level up or elevate, um, they've kind of disappeared. And so, what you need to understand is that there are people in your life who may be really great for you in a certain season,
Mm.
but do not fit where God is trying to take you.
Mhm.
They just don't. And we try to hold on to them because you don't want to start over. I don't get by myself. I don't want to find new friends, or whatever the case maybe is. But unfortunately, they can't go where you're trying to go. And if they
Mm.
could, or if they were attached to this next level of your life or this vision or this calling they had for you, um, their understanding and appreciation or acceptance of where you are in your life would show up differently.
Right.
And I say that to say, from my experience, I did have friends, and or family, or girlfriends, even girlfriends that I considered sisters to some extent, who just disappeared. And they were fully aware of like my business, what I did. But if I didn't reach out, I wouldn't hear from them. And sometimes
Mm.
months would go by, and then I would find them, and I'd be like, "Well, I ain't talked to so and so in so long," and I would hit them up. But it was never coming the other way. But on the other hand, I have friends who were aware of what I was doing, and when they didn't hear from me for a couple of days, would contact me and say, "Hey, I know you got a lot going on. I know you're trying to do this business. Like, you good? What you need? You need anything? Is anything I can help? Because I ain't heard from you in a while. Or what you got going on? Is there anything I can come to help you with or support you with?" And it wasn't, they didn't take it offensively. They didn't take it like, "Oh, well, she's too busy for me, or she got too much going on." They understood where I was trying to go, and understood that if you help me get there faster,
You come
I'd
back.
be I'd be way more available. So, if it was really that important for me to be around, you would find ways to help me instead of push me away.
Hmm.
And so sometimes we don't make room, but God He will clear out space in our lives for the things that He's trying to do.
Mhm.
And these friends not hitting you up may feel like, and it may feel like abandonment, but it may also be preparation.
Hmm.
God may be trying to prepare you for who He's trying to bring in your life and where He's
Yep.
trying to take you, and He's making space and
Mhm.
room for things that these people were taking up.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna say just say screw your friends and never, X them out. But if they've made the decision to not include you and to ostracize you, and in your heart of hearts you've done nothing to offend them outside of trying to grow and build yourself, then I don't really know if those are relationships that you really want. Because the more you build your business and the more you escalate, the more you grow, the more things you're gonna have to deal with, and the more demands that are gonna come on you for where you're trying to go. Um,
Mm.
and if they don't understand that and can't support that, the problems are only gonna escalate. They're not
Yeah.
gonna get better. So it may be, girl, you may need to find women who align better with where God's trying to take you. Um, and you think it's hard to find good value, but it's not hard. We got a
Mm.
whole sisterhood of good, valuable women over here. Okay, so
True
it's not
story.
hard. Um, if you put yourself in the right place, in the right positions, and understand that it's really not about quantity; it's about quality. Like if you got one good girlfriend, like one good one, it could feel like you got a lot. Because I got a couple good girlfriends, and depending on the day I call them, I get a different person. So it's like having six friends, like having a lot. Okay, I'm finished.
Oh my gosh, I'm done.
I'm,
Tip, you
I'm,
jumping in?
I am, but right
Tag
now,
it.
I said I am, but first I gotta quiet down the counselor. Tiffany's in my head when she was sitting there talking about depending on what day she call on. Yeah, multiple good girlfriends in one person. That'd be me. You call on Wednesday, who you speak to on Wednesday ain't who you gonna speak to on Saturday. It'd be
Right.
a different person in charge. Um, a couple of things that I want to say to Island of One is and I'm annoyed at myself right now that I can't think of the last one. There is a book that was introduced to my life about 4 years ago called The Four Agreements, right?
Ooh,
And the
love that
four
book. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Mm.
nope. So then you're gonna help me in here. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take things personal. And I can't think of what the fourth one is right now because I'm on the spot right now. But the one that I want to address is don't take things personal. Each and every last time I have had some type of situation within my friend groups, it's always been because I've been out of one of these agreements. And right now, it sounds like you're out of the agreement of taking things personal, right? The same way you have this whole laundry list of things that's going on with you in your life, I would hope that you are in a room and in sister circles with women of the same caliber. Therefore, they have the same type of things going on with them. And just because things are not happening how you think they are happening doesn't mean that that's how they are happening. Like you mentioned, like, oh, you get an invitation, but you get it last minute. Girl, do you know how many times I invite people to stuff last minute? And it's not because I was not thinking of them. It was really because I was so overly thinking, I overlooked the obvious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, And it's not personal. It is not something that I set out to do. It's just something that happened. So all I can say about that is actually just really have a conversation with these people who you feel like they're inviting you at the last minute, or same thing about, maybe they got together and you weren't invited. Life be life in. Sometimes people meet up and they don't, it's not this whole grand scheme. First of all, since we've already figured out what our demographic is, there's this whole thing about the trip that makes it out of the group chat, right? Because there's all this planning that happens in the circles. And
Mhm.
then as it approaches, things fall apart, right? This one
Mhm.
can't do it for that reason. That one can't do it for this reason. Can we do it on another day? This came up or whatever. So sometimes when we can get two of us together in the good graces, it's like, hallelujah, praise God, we done figured out how to get together, because as grown women who got all these things going on, it is difficult to get together with one another.
Yep.
Um, and then the last thing I want to say is, when it comes down to these connections and everything, as Mel V said, sometimes people are falling to the wayside to make time, to make space for bigger and better that's coming. Really do an analysis of those people that are falling to the wayside and really look and see how it is you've been showing up for them, because it may be something that you are or are not doing that is causing you to feel like you're being left behind. So that's all I got for tonight, at least on this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, Phoenix, you said everything where my heart was headed. I think it's easier for us to make the assumption that people are not being supportive of us, or people are not understanding our situation. But I think we forget that when we're in a season of increase, or when we're in a season of manifestation, that we no longer have an obligation to check on our friends or to love our friends. Like, that's just not true. And to me, that's a very self centered, self centric way of thinking. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it is constantly telling us on social media and other media outlets that yes, it is all about you. Prioritize yourself, and anyone who can't understand the season you're in, or who are not supportive, or who seem as though they're not supported, cut them off. And I think that that is a cop out and a scapegoat to no accountability and not really looking at yourself. I have a good girlfriend. I mentioned her on another show. She is working on another degree. She's been promoted at work several times. She does a lot of traveling, and yet she reaches out to me every single week. Every week, hey, just checking on you, just sending you love, nothing else. I don't care how busy you are, you can check on people. And sometimes, if you don't, or you don't show up for them, it does send the message to them that you don't care. And all the while, you're looking at it like, oh, they don't care. How much are you showing that you care? It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to sacrifice once in a while to show up to those events that they want to see you at. Because reciprocity is not just in romantic relationships, but it's in friendships as well. I have a lot of friends that show up for stuff that we do in the diamonds because I'm showing up to their stuff. I'm sharing their flyers. I'm reposting their posts and their reels. And so it does not surprise me when they do it for me, because
Mm-hmm.
reciprocity is a friendship principle as well. And so I understand how it can seem like they're excluding you from things. And I can understand, like, how you feel like they're not showing up to your stuff. But like Phoenix said, are you being vulnerable and saying that, hey, ladies, I want to spend more time with you? Or are you going inward saying, well, if they can't understand the season I'm in, because that's what we all love to say. We love to make everything about us and seem as if we're, I'm saying, that they're the problem and we're not. What part are you playing in the breakdown of these friendships? And, unfortunately, just like in dating, even in friendships, we all have this mindset that everybody's replaceable and that, oh, I'll just go find someone else. I am 42 and I've been here 3 years and I have no damn friends here. Okay. It is hard to make friends in your 40s. So if you're thinking that you're just going to be able to throw your homegirls away and not make time for them, and oh, well, if they can't understand the season I'm in, forget them, sis, you're going to be friendless. I'm telling you, I've been here 3 years. Okay. I ain't got not a nail. Okay. I hang out with my daughter and my man because I have no one else out here. Okay. I'm just being real. I have a good girlfriend in the comments right now. Shout out to my boo thing Tanisha. She lives in Connecticut. I live in Atlanta. We talk every day. She has an extremely busy life. She runs a school. She does not tell all your businesses, but she's doing a lot, right? She got a lot going on. New home, new, you know, new everything. Yet she
Mhm.
finds the time to reach out to me every single day. Every day, even if it's just a minute. Hey, thinking of you, sending you good vibes, sending you good energy, love you. It is not hard. Love you too, boo. It is not hard. And so I love that you have a lot going on in your life. I'm happy for you that you're building your business and you're chasing your dreams. That's wonderful. But you need a squad with you. I know a lot of us have this mindset that they can do it all by themselves. We can get it done by ourselves. No, you need people with you, and you need those good girlfriends that know you. And so maybe you need to humble yourself and go to the girl group chat and say, ladies, I've been MIA and I'm sorry. I miss y'all. If y'all wouldn't mind inviting me to the next event, I will do my best to be there. Because guess what? Sometimes you do gotta miss some work stuff to show up for some life stuff. You can't always be in grind culture mode. You can't always be future focused because you're not being present to enjoy the work that you're doing. And so you can pray all you want and ask God to send you new girlfriends. But honey, if you are fumbling the ones you got, the Lord looking at you like, I don't know. Because I just sent you 5 dope women and you fumbled all 5 of them. So you may have to look inward and say, where am I not being fair? And where are they the ones tripping? And
Mhm.
be an adult and have a conversation. We hate confrontation. Approach them. I miss y'all. Y'all are excluding me. I feel left out. Y'all are not showing up for my stuff. What's up? How can we fix this? It's okay to have those conversations because if they really love you the way you love them so much that you wrote a letter about it, they probably feel the same way you do. And we get in our feelings. Sometimes we get in our feelings and we want you to feel the pain because you've hurt us too. Just be a grown woman, invite them out to coffee, go to their house, show up, do some breaking and entering. I don't know what you got to do, but get your girlfriends back. Get your girlfriends back. Don't let them go. Don't do that. And then if they still decide they don't want to rock with you no more, then you know it wasn't you. But at least do
Mhm.
your part to see if you can reconcile with them because it's not easy. I'm literally about to relocate just to be closer to some women in my life. Okay? It's not easy. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't about me, but that's just how.
Yes. Listen, I'm sitting here laughing. I cannot think of the TV show, but it was I think it was either a Netflix one or a Hulu one or whatever it is. But it was about this core group of girlfriends, and when I tell you these women were ride or dies for each other, I'm talking they were doing some B&Es on things and checking to see if the husband was cheating and like all this other stuff.
I think that's First Wives Club.
I think it might have been too, right? Okay.
Yeah,
And then the
it
other
sure
thing
was.
was my good girlfriends, my core group. As soon as I start, because I pebble, right? So pebbling is when you send your friends and your family, you send them memes and reels. That's what that's called. Like if I start sending too many like restaurant ones or idea ones, somebody be like, "Oh Lord, Tiffany missing us. Let's figure out how to get together." They speak my love language.
Yes. Oh
So
my
yeah,
God, I
maybe
love
maybe you
that.
need to pebble a little. I don't know, but
Just a little bit.
just a
Just, just,
little bit.
just sprinkle
Just
some
sprinkle
hope
some.
sprinkles. Yeah, that's all. I hope y'all come hang out. Like that's it. That's it. All right, y'all. We are at the hour.
We'll
Do
never
y'all
get
want
the
to?
3 letters.
We ain't never
We
getting through 3 letters. Oh
we
my
never
goodness.
do. We never do. So do y'all want to hold that one for the next episode? Because y'all know I gotta pray at 9. Y'all already know.
Yeah,
We'll hold it.
we will hold it.
We'll
Awesome sauce.
hold
All right,
it.
let's see who in the comments before we say good night. Let's check these comments.
Let's see. It's a lot to scroll. Hold on. I'm trying to go
I
back to the
know.
top.
We
Good
love
Lord.
it. Thank y'all for being here tonight.
All right, we got Drew in the building. She said she's present. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here.
Got Bernadette in the building. She was tagging some people, telling them to come up in here.
Ernest that be on it. Hey sis.
We got our good sister Chantel in the building.
Hey Shanny Boo.
Who else is in here? Let's see. Let me see. I don't know who this is. Has it? I ain't gonna try to
That's
say it.
one of the people that Bernie tagged. So
Okay, come on, hey, welcome, newbie. If this is your first time, welcome, Jen. I don't know if that's a
Welcome.
Jim or a gent, but I can't see. I think it's a gent. Okay,
has it
Yeah.
Taurus?
welcome.
That's what it looks like.
All right, Bruce, when he said, as a fatherhood advocate, I feel many people misunderstand how child support fits into raising children. Child support is supposed to keep the child in the means of the father's monetary contribution if he was in the household. Back in the day, men had all the resources. They needed to put resources back into the home.
Got
Thank
it.
you,
Agree.
thank you, Bruce.
Thank you
Thank
for that,
you.
Jim. We appreciate
We
that.
love having that gent voice in the room.
Yes, we
Absolutely. Who
do.
else we got in here? Tanisha's
Thank
in the
you.
building. What Tanisha said, I'm screaming. You just not gonna do nothing, girl. Nothing.
Happy
Nothing.
birthday.
Nothing.
That's my boo thing. I love me some
We
her.
got Taisha in the building. We got a lot of people in the building today. Taisha's in
Hey,
here.
Taisha. We see you
You
next
know,
week,
our sister,
sis.
our sister Michelle, but she can remind y'all, yes, join us tomorrow. She's just gonna do the announcement for us. So tomorrow, Thursday, October 17th at 7 p.m. is our last interest call for the upcoming writing year. So if you are a writer, podcast host, um, a poet, an orator, public speaker,
Mm-hmm.
graphics,
Youth advocate.
advocate. I mean, there's so many things. There's so
We
many
have
things.
a home for you
If you
here.
want to
Yeah.
find out more, if you want
Yeah.
to know more of the things, go ahead over to our website at www.diamondwriters.com/write with us and fill out the interest form and then register for one of our not one of for our next interest call tomorrow. It's the last one, people, for the writing season. So open enrollment is open until the 20th.
Yes.
But this is the last interest call for you to come, hear about all the different departments, hear about all the different subsidiaries, talk to us, ask questions. So if you missed it last year, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that, because we're going into year 5. So if you missed it any of the other 4 years, now is your time to be a part of us for our fabulous year 5. So head over, register, come, learn some more, learn about us, meet some
Yeah.
other documents, get some info. All right, so yes, I
Absolutely.
think that's it for the comments. We got everybody's in here. My sister said she's moving back to Georgia soon, so y'all can go to lunch, but she'll be gone by then.
Like, please. I mean, I'm here till next summer, so please, like, come have lunch with me. I know no one here. All right, ladies, let's drop a gem and then get out these folks' way. Let's let them have their night back because of course, I'm late for prayer as I always
Yes,
am.
yes, yes. I don't really have a gym today. My gym is take your vitamins so y'all don't be sick like me. That's my gym for tonight. Take your vitamins and stay away from people that be coughing because they be giving you germs.
I'm done. Not don't catch the cooties from people nearby. That's a
Right,
good gem,
because that's what
though.
happens out here. That's crazy.
No, that's a good gem because my kid is a petri dish. She come home with something all the time. I'm
Same.
like, why
Get
are you
vitamins.
always bringing home the germ?
Get your
Phoenix,
immune system
what's
together.
your gem for the night, Phoenix?
Okay, here we go. You are setting yourself up for failure if you are defining yourself by anyone else's expectations and words but your own. Leave the
Mm.
misery behind, figure out who you are, and then do the work to become that.
Mm.
Mm.
So you just gonna come behind me with some little deep gym after my little funny gym? I don't
I'm
like that.
saying I ain't get to do my letters, so I had to come through with a powerful
You gonna
gem.
do it next time. You gonna start the next Dear Diamond with your letter.
No, exactly. Oh man, I loved it. Funny enough, my gym my gym is very simplistic. I know we've all heard it. We've heard it since childhood, and that is just show up in spaces as yourself and take up space. Like take up space. There are rooms that you belong in, and people need to know that you're present. So when you show up, actually show up. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be provocatively dressed. You don't have to be flashy. You just need to be yourself, and the right people are going to be drawn to you and attracted to you and your light. So that is my gym. Again, it's nothing original, but it is something that I feel on my heart because I feel like too many of us are shrinking, too many of us are hiding. You need to show up in rooms as yourself, okay? That is it. Listen, interest call tomorrow. You still have time to register. We also have our prayer call tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. If you are interested, you can also go to our website to get the information for that. I believe so. We have a lot going on in the TGI community, and it is all based and steeped in service. We are here to serve you, our gems and our gents. We adore you. We want the best for you, and we want you to arrive as your best self. So until next time. Y'all know what to do. Continue to hustle
Hustle
and
and
shine.
shine.
Good night.
Let's go. Let's go.